Hi guys, and welcome back to another FIFA podcast brought to you by myself, Bag Ginger Gamer, and the FIFA Trader server. Today we have Toby with us. Welcome, Toby.
Hello.
And we also have a very special guest with us today. He is massive on Twitter for being one of the main leakers within the FIFA community. He's highly respected. I've followed him for a long while. And I appreciate all his leaks that he does give to the community. It is FUT Dennis. Welcome, Dennis.
Thank you for having me. Welcome to you boys. Nice to see get people doing this more often, isn't it? Like, it's something that I think we don't really get to do much as a community, all interact and stuff.
Yeah, that's true. You know, I think with the community there is a toxicity, should I say, where people are very kept within their own community, should I say.
Yeah, I think
instead of like branching out and speaking to other content creators, and you know, this is why we're doing it. We're trying to get everyone to interact together. It's quite nice. It's quite nice.
Yeah, it's all right. Like, I think when I first I started in May last year, I think, or just after that. So
Yeah.
I've been around like 15, 16 months.
Okay.
I remember when I first came, it wasn't overly. There were a few people that were quite welcoming. But I think when you get to like a certain sort of size, I think you start to see like there were a few people that were happy.
Yeah.
That I got the information that I got and I was growing, and there were a few people that I considered friends at the time that weren't happy with me sort of taking over number wise and sort of growing at a faster rate than what they were. But
What do you mean? Sort of like a jealousy type of.
I wouldn't want to say jealousy. I think like
Envious.
maybe, yeah, because not everyone like had the same information I have. I was quite fortunate, quite lucky. Like, it wasn't something that I went out and looked for.
Yeah.
Like, I helped some guy with some trading tips, and I'd helped him for quite a few months, and then he drops the whole. Oh, by the way, I can get information. I thought he was BSing me at first.
Yeah, sometimes you like look at it and think, hang on a minute, is this guy for real? But no, listen, like I say, you are one of the top FIFA leakers within the community. Do you ever feel that the information you're giving out is sometimes you should keep to yourself, or do you just do it just because you want to give back to the community?
Like, I was accused before. Like, I think mainly I've been letting information go since like February, and it was when I first started getting inside info, and I'd always tweeted it. Always done the same thing, and then I grew because I didn't realize how much knowing like the team of the season meant to people.
Yeah.
So I just tweeted out the team of the season, and then I think I gained like 3 or 4K followers overnight.
Really?
Oh wow!
It was a lot in it, and I think that's when the whole people weren't super happy. I think like I get it in it. Like, I kind of people would see it as like you're doing it for clout in it, but like for me, like I saw it being at that point like I was whatever. Because I don't run my Patreon based on leaks in it, so whatever I've always put out has always been in the server, right? Like, I've never really kept anything in there and then not put it out on Twitter. Because I was ranked before, like I even got leaks and stuff. I was ranked, like, I played on PC for FIFA 19. I was ranked like first in the world, second in the world,
wow.
Like top 100.
So you're a decent FIFA player without if it's to be at that sort of level, you are a decent FIFA player.
Yeah, like for trade profit and like for.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I was elite and stuff in ability level, but I didn't need leaks to trade in it. Like, I started a PS4 account from scratch, and like obviously, like, knowing the leaks of what was coming now, like in summer heat, don't make any difference in it because like it's just buy fodder on a Sunday night.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Buying a Sunday sell on when the SBC's dropped.
Yeah.
You spoke about your Discord. I know you make it very exclusive to. You put out invites on Twitter, say 100 people, blah 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 blah. Why do you not open it up to the community? Is it just to keep it very, to keep this, this special. I don't know the word to use now, but just to keep it a small community, or is there a reason for that?
Well, like, I started out in like early FIFA 19. I was working with SBC tips, like Sip, like his paid Discord. Yeah, I was working with him. Great guy, Cal is. I really really appreciate what he does for the community. One of the sort of the nicer guys in the community.
Mm-hmm.
I really sort of was on board with his vision of like he wants to get the money, put it back in, give away services, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, well, to be fair, we kind of do the same thing. I don't know if you've obviously, I know you've only been in the server.
Try to.
Yeah, of course you try our best to.
Yeah, like I've seen similar sort of similar stuff.
Yeah.
You guys reinvest in it, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Listen, give back to the community.
And when I'd had my Discord, I was working inside SIP. It was around the same sort of time I was getting leaks that my Discord grew a bit bigger. I was getting a bit bigger on Twitter. I had a bit of I wouldn't say a disagreement with the moderators there. But at that point, I thought it was, we all sort of discussed, at that point, I'm not really able to offer too much to them because my sort of passion is in elsewhere. I want to run my own thing, right? Like,
yeah, you chose to go your separate ways, It happens.
It wasn't anything from like a sort of a bad place.
Mm.
And then like I'd had like I think I had 800 free members in there, and then I'm not going to name names, but there were certain paid services that were either paying people for the information in my Discord. I ran completely for free.
Oh, okay.
Like I accepted, like there was like a little PayPal link if people wanted to donate to it, but it was all for free. Like you got in through the giveaways or whatever. And there were quite a few reputable Discords and Patreons that were taking the info or whatever, and
using it for themselves.
Yeah. So then like I just thought like it was every week or and then it became every day, and I was just seeing it in Discord. Like everything I posted was taken and put elsewhere, and I thought like I was putting a lot of time and effort in.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we've had the same issue really within our Discord because obviously we offer free trading tips. I've gone into other Discords and there's someone who claims to be a trader just posting our tips in another server.
Yeah.
You do get it within the community, and it is expected, like you say.
Yeah, so like I thought, because I was struggling quite bad financially, like no circumstances from I got a little boy who's 10.
Okay.
And I'd moved into a 3-bedroom house with my best friend at the time, about just before 19 came out, and we were friends for like 7-8 years. And I was a manager at work, he was a supervisor. He got caught stealing, so I had to fire him. And then he moved out, and then I was paying like all of a sudden double the amount of money for everything. So I was running a lot of my free time into that Discord. And then I thought if people are making money from my hard work, and I was doing it from a place of love, then I thought like I got a bit frustrated with it. I thought like so I created my Patreon, and it's helped me narrow it down. But my love is still giving to the community, which I still run that free one.
Yeah.
But I want to it's like to have it open would be like I'd have I'd be encountering those issues again. Where I'm like it's a lot of time. If it's unlimited access, people come and leave.
True.
It's a lot harder to track. It's a lot harder to trace.
True.
I feel anything more than what I feel I can do, they're just going to get a reduced level of service. If it's completely like 4, 5, 6, if you're a 30k page and you've got 3, 4, 5,000 people in there, then it dilutes the investments.
Yeah, true. Yeah. I see where you're coming from that. Also, I see a tweet saying that you don't actually get the time to invest in the leaks that you receive. Is that still the case, or do you try and make a little time for your own investments and your own trading?
It wasn't so much like as much as time really as I played primarily on PC in it, and like stuff like link investment or substitute investment, and like out of pack investment. So the only one that really work, like you can't really, if you look at the sort of Thursday flips don't work on PC, for example.
The market on PC is very, very tough to crack. I won't lie.
Yeah, so it's like I did it like last year I had like 50 mil TP. I think this year I stopped playing and I had 30, 35 mil TP. And like I had quite a good team on it as well. And that was without playing to like elite and gold 1 standard this year. I was just playing like the 14 wins and then a little bit of 17. But it was down to like I can't really make the coins of it, and then with PS or whatever, like you don't really need to do that to make massive amount of coins on PS. Like,
yeah.
It's just easy to make. Like I was making like just over 1.5 mil a week just with minimal trading on the PS.
Yeah, well, myself being a trader, I did a little challenge that I didn't complete in the end because I literally started. I thought instead of playing weekend league, I'll do 12 hours non-stop trading. I got to about 6 and I was like, oh, this is killing me. This is too much. But I made a substantial amount of profit, and it does show that on console you don't need to put a mass amount of time in to gain coins. You just have to have the knowledge and take a bit of time to learn the market and
Yeah, like
adjust to it.
Once you have like you sort of know the methods or whatever, like, or I think the easiest thing on console is just a filter.
Yeah.
If you get the right filter, like I was using the team of the season filter pretty much for most of my PlayStation life, and it was just moving it around every day, and I was sniping Mandanas for 29k. I got like a Fakir for 35k.
Nice.
And I'd make quite a lot of like 15, 20k flips, like, but it's one or two, and then I did a headliners one, where I was picking up the lanes and same those for like 13k each, and they were selling for 25.
Oh, nice.
But it was like every minute or so in it, like.
Yeah. Well, go on, sorry.
It's just because of the supply. That's the only reason why it works compared to PC, because you've got loads, like on PC, like right, kids that have a PC.
Yeah.
It's more adults, whereas on PlayStation, kids have it in it. So like you've got a very young sort of player base compared to the PC, and there's a lot more of it.
Yeah, there is a hell of a lot more people who've got a console rather than a PC. So the market obviously is inflated at times and deflates at times, but there's more. It's more on the market. You go to the PC and I'm like, what? I'm not paying that. Not paying for that card, for an 86 or whatever. The market there is crazy compared to PlayStation or Xbox. So when did you start trading?
Like, I don't know. I remember buying it as an expansion. I think it was FIFA 08.
Oh, really?
I remember having to pay, I think it was £8. You bought Ultimate Team as an expansion. So I played it since that one.
Nice. So like, early days.
Yeah, like I remember having like morale cards and
bloody hell,
formation cards and stuff like that, and like 4-1, 2-1-2. I think it used to be like the most expensive formation.
Yeah.
And you were able to because there weren't any caps. Like you were able to sort of charge whatever you wanted, and it was more of a Wild West back in those days. Like no one really knew. Like I remember like not knowing what morale did in it.
Yeah, I didn't. Mate, I first started FIFA 12. To be fair, so that was my calling. I spent a hell of a lot of money on FIFA points.
That was that the one with that had the formation cards in you?
Yeah. You used to have to pick like 4-2-1-2 or 4-3-3. So that was mine, and FIFA 12 is where I first started. And like I say, I had a lot of spare cash, so I was buying a lot of FIFA points. So I used to load my console up on a Wednesday, ready for team of the week. And FIFA 13, I sort of looked at how much I spent, and I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm learning to trade. And I've never looked back since. So you was mentioning like how much you earn per card on certain promos. What is the biggest amount you've earned off of one card?
Like I don't know. There's quite like. Do you mean like a single trade, or do you mean
a single trade, or a single investment?
Like it depends, because like I'd say like UCL weeks are always going to be, because I remember like when the first marquee matchup came out, it was Bayern Chelsea. I think it was Bayern Chelsea. It was Bayern, and you needed one Bayern player. And like I remember people were buying like the Pavards and things like that, 4 or 5k.
Yeah.
So like I think it was 8 o'clock. I remember being in the pub and I bought like all the Javi Martinez for like 6k, and I put like 1.2 mil into him, and they obviously went extinct, and he had like obviously a 4k plus one early on, and I think in terms of like how much it made me then, it'd be that sort of like, or any sort of UCL week. But I also bought Maina. He was like a common bowler with Zadores left back. And the Diaz flashback SBC came out. And I advised him at 25, 30k, and he went to 70k.
Oh, nice.
I was on PC at that time. But on console, like he was pretty much sort of double coins and a half for everyone. But like I didn't, because I was on PC at that time. I didn't profit from it, but a lot of people in the Discord did.
Decent. What about losses?
Oh, one Jesus because of coronavirus, the road to the final.
Ah, really?
We were all holding him because obviously, he was Brazilian meta. There weren't many centre backs around like at that time. And I think they were favourites to win the game, and it was just a case of buy now, sell him high. He had good investments for the Thursday flips and stuff. Because I think, if I remember, it was around the same sort of time as Future Stars.
Yeah.
Like had not long been out, so you had like Lodi and Emerson, and you had that Luis Felipe.
Yeah, so it was great links within that.
Yeah, and he was already down a bit because of Felipe came out. But you obviously had people were then able to sort of link the two together. But then the games got called off, and he just fucking died. I think one of them lost like 1.5 mil. I think he lost on that as well.
Oh bloody hell! That's serious.
Yeah,
a serious loss. Yeah, well,
It's
mate,
not
listen,
playing,
yeah, it's one of them things like you can't see these things happening.
Well, now that were like no one was really too fussed about it. But I think sometimes it just happens, isn't it? Like you.
Of course. Listen.
I've had it where, like I've made a few losses, but I'm quite like, sort of honest or accurate with my prices that I give to people to invest at, and I'll list the risk.
Yeah.
Like I think before, batch freeze went into packs, we didn't know what was going on, so I suggested one or two cards. It was Gareth Bale birthday, St. Maximin birthday. And then they were like, now we're going to put them all back in with these other cards. And I was like, okay. So we lost a few on that. But nothing like... nothing that I looked at and thought it was a really bad investment idea in it. Like, it was always like there was sound. And I think the first loss I had this season, do you remember when we had the team of the group stage cards?
Yeah.
Told everyone to invest in them. They're going out of that standard procedure. Promo's ending. You got a nice Ramos. There was a few other okay ones, and then they fucking released Team of the Year nominee.
Yeah,
the same,
literally
same
straight away. It was absolutely mental.
And the whole market crashed because it was either like not advise it and they fucking bang, or like risk it in it. And I think very early on, that was really the first loss we had, and that was a hard one to take. That one.
Yeah, well, we always advise out of packs. Like you say, once they're out of packs, they rise anyway. So taking that risk is minimal. You never know.
At least the lost investment wasn't for birthday Sissoko.
Oh, like you on about Flair?
Yeah, I think everybody kind of lost out on that one. Like that was a big risk for everyone.
Oh no, like I never advised birthday Sissoko. Like it wasn't a card that I looked at and thought, like you can sort of tell in it, like when, like the sort of level of hype in it. Like originally, I was thinking for 21, first thing I want to pop off is Bundesliga in it.
Yeah.
But I've seen everyone talk about Bundesliga, so I ain't really. Yeah, last year, like Akanji was a good example. Like everyone was hyping him up, and he crashed hard.
Yeah.
So I've got my eye on a few cards for 21, but I think after seeing what people are saying, I'm probably going to avoid Bundes now.
Well, I think everyone's hyped off the Bundesliga this year. I think last year was more the Prem.
Yeah.
What do you think about the ratings that they've released?
Like I get why they've done it, innit? Like it leaves more room for special cards, and I think quite late on this year, I was thinking about I was looking at old cards from back in the day, and there was like a Jordan Rhodes card. I think it was in 12 or 13. Might have been that. But he was like a silver, and he had like 91 shooting in form. And since Champs came, the only reason why you don't get those good silver cards anymore is because they want to give them a gold rating, so you've got a chance of packing that card in a red pick. If they give you like a 23-man squad and 6 or 7 of those cards are silver, you've got the chance of getting the good golds because you can't get a silver team in the wheat pick in your champs. So they've kind of gone for this approach of, we'll just give the shitty silver card, +5 to 75 card. It's unusable, and you're probably going to get it in your pack. But this year, I think they've downgraded them. So very early on, like up until quite late, Neymar was very usable. Gold Neymar, gold Mbappe I saw still, gold Van Dijk I saw still.
Right up to the very end, really. The last, well, I'd say, last 2 months, I've still seen people using them, these gold cards now are not the same as they used to be. Like you say, they've still got the ability to give them in informs, give them the the bigger cards as well. They're still usable at endgame.
Yeah, I think it's bad though because it kind of devalues the market, right? Like as soon as you're like, let's take Sancho for example. Yeah, as soon as Sancho gets that one inform, that special card, his gold, which is going to be a very sought after card, 87 rated, it's going to be hard to pack because that's how the algorithm works. But his card is now going to be worthless because it's nowhere near the same level as that inform card. Whereas this year, like Ronaldo's inform was like +1, which I think it gives them good from the fact that the informs are a very big upgrade. But I think for those players, like the main player base that are playing, squad battles, or they're playing like a few games, they're not playing weekend league. How are they really going to compete?
Yeah.
When you've got a Sancho that's one rating higher, but he's got like +6, +7 in every stat. So I think it can go either way. I just do feel that they've done it to sort of nerf the power of the baseball cards.
Yeah, I think they're right as well. It gives them the ability to give them more special cards. Summer Heat for birthday, informs. This is the promos now. They're introducing so many that it's good. People want to play with different cards every week. They don't want to play with the same cards every week, even though there is a meta, and they will do. But people like to enjoy, position switch, or different stats within the card. It does spruce up, say FIFA, should we say, instead of being very stale.
I also think you go.
No, go on, mate. Go on.
Yeah, I was gonna say that I think they've also kind of nerfed the meta, the agile players, the good passes. Like Thiago moved down 2, Messi's down 1, Neymar's down 1, Ronaldo's down 1. It's like they don't want to create a toxicity like this year or last year, should I say, just because it was making FIFA not really.
Not really what? Sorry, Toby?
It was making like a toxicity which wasn't making FIFA 20 an actually good game.
I don't think it's down to the cards. I think it's down to, for whatever reason, the AI in that game is coded to sit as far fucking inside the penalty area as possible.
Yeah.
It's not coded. The gameplay is not down to people using fucking Mbappe. Yeah, it shouldn't favour certain cards, but that bad gameplay isn't down to people using specifically Yedda or people using specifically Kent. It's down to the AI, for whatever reason, will turn into some form of brain dead potato when you're attacking, and then when you're defending, it's like fucking prime moments kind of viral for everyone. But
yeah, it happens. It happens to me, yeah.
Like that was the cards, like irrespective of the cards, like the issue with the whole gameplay is you had to have, like, because people don't want to control their defenders, and because the game was, I was playing games here, and I'm playing high tempo, I'm playing like 3 or 4 depth, I'm playing press like on heavy touch, I'm playing fast build up, so none of my players should theoretically be sat far back, and then when I've got the ball, my left mid, my left right wing just stand and they just watch, they don't run, but when I'm defending, all of a sudden they come back, and I've not set them to come back on defense, but everyone sort of floods and forms into like a massive pool in the penalty area. I don't get it.
Yeah, obviously, I think obviously the keepers need to improve in FIFA 21 as well. They're literally non-existent. They might as well not even be in goal, to be fair. I don't think I've had a keeper this season that's been any good. I don't know about yourself. Oh, Ter Stegen. Yeah,
he's the only one.
But still, it's still they make silly mistakes that I've never seen keepers make in my life in the real world. So
first came out, they had that thing where they would just constantly fucking push it out for a corner.
Yeah.
And they still does that a bit now. But I think out of all the keepers, I had prime moments Yashin. I've had Alisson team of the year. I've had Alisson team of the season. But Ter Stegen, every form of Ter Stegen's the only keeper where he's like most keepers I have, they shoot and it goes in. And I'm like, okay, yeah, it's a goal. But Ter Stegen was the only one where I thought that it should have been a goal and he saved it. He's the only keeper I've ever had, and I fucking hate playing against him so much. He just saves everything, man. But everyone uses him in it because of just of how good he was.
Yeah, it's the meta.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
What exactly is your in-game team look like?
On which console?
Oh. Let's go through them.
Yeah. Okay. I've got on my PC. Let me just. I might as well just read the PS actually, so I haven't got to sign back out. So my PS, I had Team of the Season Aguero, Prime Icon Moment Dalglish, Team of the Year Conte, Team of the Year De Jong, Semedo, Summer Heat, Team of the Year De Ligt, Lucas Hernandez, Prime Moment Seedorf and Bergkamp, prime moments Yashin, and then on the bench I've got prime moments Drogba, Sane, Arthur, Promes, team of the season. I've got quite a lot of good ones. Got a pretty good club. Reserves, I've got Tellez, team of the season, Richarlison, team of the season,
Nice card.
Lautaro Martinez, team of the season, prime icon moments, Rivaldo. Quite a good team.
Nice.
And that was 6 weeks, I think I was on that for.
Yeah, decent.
And then my PC one I stopped around just at the start of summer heat. So I've got middle R9 in Cam.
Very nice.
Vinicius Junior, prime icon versions of Roberto Carlos, Blanc, Ferdinand, Yashin, and Mateus, and then team of the season. Team of the season, Sancho and Trent on the right wing and right mid. And then I've got Summer Heat, Firmino, and Yalnam. And then on my bench, I've got Cruyff, Mertens, Atal, Salah, Henry, prime icon Vieira, David Luiz, Rashford, Mbappe, 92. Quite a good team on
That's
that.
decent, yeah. So that's a decent team.
Yeah, I missed the biggest coin making season because I stopped playing before the prime icon moments had come out.
Oh, okay.
So I hadn't managed to do any of those, but I had a stacked club of Reds and things like Mbappe and Depay and at the time they would have been really good. And I'd stopped just as that Mendy card came out, I think, or around then.
What the objectives? Mendy.
Yeah, the last summer heat I did, whichever came last, either with Yalden or Vinicius Junior. I think that was I remember doing the summer heat card last, and then I just switched to DS.
What's your favourite card that you've used this year?
There was a few good ones. I liked that Fuenzadia objective card. He was sick.
Yeah.
But I'd probably say either Vinicius Junior summer heat.
Yeah, I've got that card.
Footmas Rashford I used for fucking ages.
Nice.
I had him and Prime, not Prime, was he fucking Shapeshifter CR7 or something like that.
Nice.
I had a special CR7 up front. I think it was Shapeshifter or Inform, one of those two. And I used those two as a 4-1-2-1-2 narrow, and I had Bernardo Silva, that player moment card.
Yeah.
And that was really good. I really liked Rashford.
Yeah, my favourite this year was Gomez, the Argentinian.
Oh yeah, we used his team of the season. Yeah,
no, not even his team of the season. I had his Inform 86. That was awesome, absolutely awesome card. And then I managed to pack his 80. I think got 87 Inform. If I might be mistaken there, but I'm sure he got an 87 Inform. I packed that as well. And I literally just Oh mate, I enjoy it. I felt it was just fun to use. It was just absolutely brilliant to use. I've yet to try his team of the season, but I definitely will.
Did you use that Fuenzadia card?
I don't think I did. Oh, what?
The team of the season.
No, the objective one. He had
Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah, he's high, short and lean, so he's got the perfect body type. 98 pace, 95 dribbling, 90 shooting, 92 passing. And in his stats, he has 99 agility and balance.
Oh, nice.
98 acceleration, sprint speed. He was a lethal man.
Yeah, that's the same Gomez. He could turn very quickly. He could, he was quite good with his pace. He was quick, small, nimble. It was an absolutely brilliant card. It was my favourite card, all through FIFA 20.
I had him for 19, I think, or 18, and I had my favourite card of all time. It was a Dries Mertens.
Dries Mertens.
The FIFA 17 Inform.
Oh, nice.
And I think it had 90 something pace, 95 pace, 95 shooting or something, 95 dribbling. Back when an Inform was a team of the season for him. He was the lethal man. I remember that card. I think the most disappointing card I used this year was when I think I rebought Ronaldo. After using his team of the year, and he was after had a few packages. It was in team of the season that I'd bought him, and he was just shit. He just kept bouncing off him. He was kind of he was running in sand.
Well, mine was Kevin De Bruyne. I think he had his Inform. I think it was a 92 or 91. I bought that, played 3 games with him, sold it. I was like, this is dreadful, absolute dreadful card. I couldn't use it. And also Lewandowski, he's Champions League, card. I had that. I just literally couldn't use it. It was abysmal for me. But now I have his team of the season, and it's an absolute awesome card. So
It just hits the post for me.
I think that's just FIFA in general, not Lewandowski.
No, like, honestly, bro, like I've used it, like I've had him for like 10 games, and I think every other game he hit the post. Like, cause
Really?
they have certain shooting animations. I know CR7 has one.
Mm.
I know Rooney had one where they sort of hit the ball, so it kind of goes straight, but it dips at the same time.
Yeah.
But like it was the same with Rooney. Like he used to hit the post really quite often. Maybe it's like how long I shoot or that angle I shoot at. But like I always find like players that have that animation, I just tend not to do very well with.
Yeah, it's always on how you play as well. I always feel that some people will adjust better with a card than others. You know, like I say, the Lewandowski, the previous one I had, I just couldn't. It just didn't sit well with me. And then other players that I spoke to, that was like, "Oh my god, this card's awesome." I was like, "It just don't work for me. It just doesn't work for me." And I feel like some people said that about Ronaldo, and some people have said that about Messi and Neymar.
I never used Messi this year.
Really?
Yeah, like I just never had. Like I was gonna buy him because I had that Semedo card from the objectives on the PS account.
Yeah.
It was like only like 300k or something at the time. It was way cheap. But I didn't use him this year. I've always had. So I've always packed right wingers. Like or I had Bernardo Silva in my team, and it wasn't too much of an upgrade. Messi was like sitting around 800k at the time that I had that Bernardo card. I just never used him. I've like used his loan card to do the when I was playing on PS for like 4 or 5 games just to get when you start a new team to get up the ranks or whatever, and it felt good. I just never had him in my team owning him like.
Yeah, I think I've only ever used him in draft, to be honest with you, this year.
Didn't like seem good for me.
Will you be trading much in FIFA 21? Obviously, like you've got your Discord, so you've got your Patreon. You know, will you be aiming to finish higher within the trading ranks, or will you focus more on other things?
I think it depends how much time I got because I work 40 hours a week. I usually book a bit of time off for FIFA anyway. But I think like this year, like trade profit and stuff. I think like a lot. There was ways of like getting around. You heard about the shadow.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Buy shadows, put
So,
them in
like,
your club, sell them from your club.
Even if you're making profit on the shadows in it, like it's a legitimate. You're making coins, but it looks like you're making far superior coins.
Yeah.
And obviously coin selling and stuff. But I don't really want to go for a TP balance. I want to go for like a coin balance.
Okay.
So I'm aiming to get from web access to launch. I'm aiming to hit 1 million coins before full release again.
Oh, nice. We've just released our web trading guide within our Discord. So yeah, we're looking for the same. Maybe not to that extent, but hopefully we can all hope and pray that we get that. You spoke about obviously the coin balance. Your coin balance at the moment on FIFA 20. What are you aiming to do with that? Are you just gonna sit back and leave it, or you gonna open packs, or I don't know? Because I'm personally sitting on 3 million plus with 70, 90 rated plus in my club. Some tradable, some not. And I literally have no idea what to do, if I'm honest.
Well, like everything's gone out of packs now. So before,
Yeah.
like, I had a bit of I think I put about 1.52 million into icon packs before everything went out of packs because you was able to grind it. And I got like 2 Shearer, 2 Drogba, 2 Seedorf, 3, like nothing good.
Nothing that you use.
Nah, like, and I don't know, like I wasn't overly that happy about it. But I've got a little brother who still plays a bit, so I might just like ring him up or whatever and just
go crazy.
Well, yeah, like I might just not gonna break term of service, but I don't think I need this one.
Yeah. What do you think about EA taking away fitness cards? Obviously, that's killing the bronze pack method that I like to use. It's a nice and easy, don't have to think about anything, trading method. What do you feel about
Chill.
that? Yeah, it's a little chilled method that you haven't got to use your brain power. You just got to check the prices and then sell the bronze players. Blah 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 blah. They're taking away the fitness cards. Do you think they're trying to kill the bronze pack method so people buy FIFA points, or do you feel they're going to introduce something else to take its place?
Well, they obviously got the tifos and things,
Yeah.
so you'll get tifos and stuff. But the majority of your coins from bronze packs are from when you recycle them into silver packs.
Yeah.
It'll still be very profitable. But obviously, the whole point of bronze packs is to use it to form silver players and to complete league SBCs and to sort of generally stock your club up from a low starting balance and grind to get to a higher starting balance. You'll have more coins without having to buy 15Ks worth of squad fitness every weekend league. I think how many, if you just think about that saving alone, how many, what can you buy, 30 something plus packs with that 15K? So I think it'll be where people think it will have a negative impact, but I don't think you'll really notice a difference because everyone's going to be richer anyway.
Do you reckon that'll impact the market? Obviously bringing the market up higher than it usually is.
Well, it was the highest it was for a while at the start of the game, in terms of SBC costs. But the Ronaldos and Messis were affordable. It was just you R9s and your Cruyffs and things like that were astronomically out of your price.
Oh, mate,
I think you'll see. It all depends on how they go down. If you see game week 1, game week 2, game week 3, game week 4, and they're just bringing out untradeable reward, people are not gonna have as much amount of coins as they would do if it's tradable, and we saw them do that this year. So I don't know, if it's going to be, a lot of. I think most of the rewards in the preseason SPCs were untradeable until the last 2 or 3.
Yeah, I think they're kind of edging towards the untradeable at the moment. I think that's to try and obviously balance the market out. I'm assuming at points where they see fit.
I always thought it makes it easier to trade though if it's untradeable packs. It just keeps everything manageable in it. You're not having to worry about it. Whereas if they drop a random SBC and it's proper tradable supply like they did a few times at the start of the game, it proper lowers everything massively because everyone gets that influx of coins, right? It's not like you're packing an untradeable thing which just then gets funneled into another SBC to give you a card. I didn't really understand the whole. I think first off, I remember Verratti being 8K, and I thought they did the untradeable thing early on as a way of saying, look, there are no icon packs, there's nothing to put this fodder into.
Yeah.
People are buying FIFA points, they're getting a walkout and it's 5 or 6K. Maybe that was the original method, and then it's just been a case of they don't really know what to do with the market. Because if you look at the graphs, fucking 82s being 8 or 9K in September.
Oh, mate, it's crazy. Absolutely mental. Absolutely mental. I can't believe how expensive the market is right now.
Yeah, the only thing that I could think that they were doing that for, I don't know if it sounds like a sort of a conspiracy theory, is the more cards that are around, the more server space it takes, right? Okay. So if they drain everyone's clubs before the new one comes out, then there's less server space because they're not having to store all those cards.
That's a good theory. I didn't think about it like that, to be fair.
That's the only reason why I could think in it. If your account, whenever you go onto that game, if you don't leave it for 6 months, all your stuff's still there. So they must have to store that data somewhere.
That's a valid point, to be fair. I did not think about that.
That's the only reason why I could think that they'd want you to get rid of all your stuff at the end of the game, because they're not selling promo packs, they're not selling FIFA points. So what do they actually have to gain from it?
Well, most people's clubs right now are kind of empty,
Yeah, that's it.
My club's only stocked because I haven't really done any SBCs because I thought, well, I don't really want to do that SBC. It's not really been worth my while doing it. I always look at an SBC and think, what will I gain out of that? If I won't gain anything, I won't do it. FIFA 18, I think I did, near enough every SBC, and now I look at it and I assess, and I think, well, is this going to benefit me? If not, then no. But I think most people at this stage of FIFA 20, their clubs are completely dry. So yeah, that's a good point. I did not think about that. Obviously, you have to store the data from everyone's clubs somewhere.
Yeah, that's the only thing I could think. I can't see if they were selling promo packs every day and people were buying FIFA points. Then fair enough in it. But from a marketing point of view, or from a developer's point of view, that's the only thing I can think of is it just reduces server strain for the next game. Clearing it up. Let's clear that game up. Let's reduce. If you look at the live transfers on PS and stuff, way lower. Let's just reduce the transfers, and when they go into the next one, they've not then got to worry about people still, having to all this data, because obviously they must have to hold it for so long, legally or whatever. I don't really know.
Yeah, for a certain amount of time. Yeah.
But that's the only thing I can think of.
Do you play much weekend league?
Yeah, pretty much every weekend league. Yeah.
Yeah. What's your highest finish?
This year, I stopped. I had my first weekend league. I got to gold 1, and then ever since that, I just stopped because I hate this game.
Mate,
I hate it.
mate, I'm on my 4th control pad this year. So, yeah, I'm in the same boat, to be fair. I always say, Toby will be one of my witnesses. I always say, I'm not playing next weekend. I'm not playing next weekend. The next weekend, I'm playing it again.
That fear of missing out in it. Like,
yeah, literally. I think I missed out on a couple of red picks and I thought, why didn't I play the weekend league? Oh, it's the team of the season. When they first brought out team of the season so far, I didn't play it for the Premier League picks, and I was I absolutely kicked myself.
That would have been a deep one.
Sorry.
That would have been deep, man.
Yeah, mate. Literally, I was kicking myself. I was like, what the hell? Why didn't I play it? But yes, listen. Sometimes it is stressful, you know. So you obviously go on. Sorry.
I just like it wasn't so much like it was stressing it. Like, I think even when I win, I feel like I just feel like shit afterwards. I remember winning in 19, and I was like, oh yes, like I got that win in it. Or like 18 was one of the worst ones I played up until 20. But I was like early on, it was quite good. I was like, yes, I got that win. 17, you know, like yes, and then this one, I was like, even when I won, I was like, this is fucking horrible from start to finish.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've lost so many games to people that are not. Like they're not good. Like I've never when I lost on 19 or I lost on 18, I think I got outplayed, man. Like I'd be a bit pissed off. I think he got lucky, but I feel like the geezer was okay in it. Like he was a good player.
Yeah, deserved
the
win.
This one I'm losing to like 3 counter-attack cutbacks after like just shooting it gets blocked, shoot it gets blocked, post, like you know what I mean. And he's got like all his players in the penalty area. He's like holding with the CDM, just moving back and forth between the 2 passing lanes and. It's just not like you lose against someone that's like even when he's attacking, like it's just not. It's just ball roll through ball cutback.
Yeah, they're meta all the time. Do you think it's the rewards for weekend league are not up to scratch? Do you think they need adjusting in FIFA 21?
Like I think gold 1 is good. Gold 1's okay. You know, 2 jumbo rare player packs, 2 picks. That's fine. Gold 2 is a little bit worse than gold 3. You'd rather have the rare player pack, right? Like instead of 2 rare gold packs. That needs a little bit of balancing. I think gold 3, decent rewards. Is it like a rare player pack and 2 mega packs or something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
And then I think the biggest injustice is Elite 3 and Elite 2. Elite 3 is 3 picks.
Preach, yeah.
And then Elite 2 is just 3 more wins, is it, or 2 more wins for like 20k more?
Yeah,
like that.
makes no sense.
25K.
Do you think there should be a cap on red picks for rewards? Obviously, I know they have a certain cap at a certain stage, but like the best player I've had in FIFA 20 was Lloris. I think it was a 90 rated. I got him as a player pick. That was it. Like, the Ben Yedders, the Neymars, the Messis. I've never had one of them in FIFA 20. I don't know what your best red pick was this year, but yeah, I kind of struggled with my red picks this year.
I didn't get a single good one until like team of the season when I gambled 11 players into the upgrade one, and I got 92 Mbappe, but he was really behind the curve. He was about 1 mil. I think because it was on PC. I think he was quite expensive because he don't really get supply. But like I liked it in 19 when you had the objective of you win so many, you got a player pick, and it was a minimum of like 90 rated or something. Was it in 20? Or did they do it this year as well?
What's that?
Where you got like you played if you won so many, you got like a red pick.
You got an extra one.
Yeah, with a set value. Was that this year as well?
I don't think they did that this year.
They definitely did this year.
Yeah, they only did that through team of the season. When it's team of the season, once you reach a certain stage, you get anyone from the top 5 leagues or whatever like that.
Oh no! There was an objective where if you won so many games in weekend league, you got like for those weeks. It was it was definitely 19, and if you won so many, it was around team of the season, but you got like a 90 plus pick or a minimum of an 86 on top of your red picks in it. And I think if they had like the milestones section, I think if they put in this year that said, like when you win your 100th like like weekend league game,
Yeah.
you get a player pick like 86 plus. So so it works from both sets of view. Yeah, like the earlier you do it, there are less 86 plus cards in the game. So if you're better, you get rewarded faster.
Yeah.
And then if you do it later on, obviously because you're not as skilled or whatever, or you got the game late, you're still able to do it, and that card will probably still provide value to your team at that point, because you're probably like a lower leveled player to take longer to do it. So I think like they need to cap it in a way where it is something that rewards everyone, because it's no point you hitting top 100 and getting fuck all in your packs.
I've seen that so many times.
Like, there's no point you hitting top 100 and you then getting like 95 Ronaldo, 94 Messi, and like I think there needs to be a bit of balance, because they want you to carry on playing the game.
Yeah.
It needs to be balanced for you with other top 100 players or elite players and things. But I think if they did it in a way where it was specifically set for you, so if you won 100 games, or like something like score 100 goals in rivals with red pick players or something like that. Like, it's not something that you have to do then, and it's probably something that you're going to do eventually over time.
Yeah.
And then you get like a red pick reward, and it's not something that if you want to sit there and grind it, you can, and you get rewarded for that. None of this like win, score a fucking 360 no scope volley,
score an overhead kick with a German player from a low end team like that no one's heard of. You're like, what the hell? It's absolutely crazy. Some of the objectives.
I think if they do it right and they fix it so it would be where you get rewarded for it, I think there's a big opportunity for them this year to say, with these milestone challenges that they've said they're going to change and other things, to say, yo, like, you've done well, you've got your 30 wins, or you've got 100 wins, or you've got 200, because I don't want to win 25. Like, when I won like the 25 games or whatever it was in the squad battles, and I got like a 2 rare gold player pack. Like, that's no use to me in it. Like, I want, like, in that squad battle thing, give me something to do with squad battles, give me something to do with rivals, and it give me
to make your plan more.
Like, I don't want it to be where I'm just getting rewarded or sort of getting nothing from it being like it's just another thing. Like, without you really thinking about it, and it's just I've got that. Oh, great. Whereas I want to feel excited when I do it. I want to feel like, like that was good. That was I've worked towards that. That's really good. Not like just 2 rare player packs for 50 wins.
That's what I think. Summer Heat for me. The objectives in that, they were fair rewards for, they made you want to play the game. I feel FIFA, past FIFAs have kind of lacked that. They've kind of lacked the ability where you go, I want to play that, I want to get that player, I want to do that objective, I want to, carry on plan, and I think sometimes, FIFAs lack that just a little bit.
Yeah, I think they kind of got it right to a degree. With like it was, when like I'd said, I tweeted it out before it even came out, and it wasn't a leak. Like I just said, it'd be nice if we had just something like play 1,000 in-game minutes with Mendy. So like you can sub him on or whatever. And they did it. It was like play 15 games, and that's just you just playing the game. And I found when I was doing the I think was it the icon one or something, or the 90 plus player pick one. I didn't care if I lost. Like,
just had fun.
Like, that was it. Well, I'd say I fucking had fun. Like, it wasn't as bad. I didn't lose that game thinking, that's been a waste of 90 minutes. I conceded a last minute equaliser or something. I felt like, at least I've got it done. At least it counts towards my objective. Whereas when it's like win and
score and get an assist, mate, you struggle.
It's just not how the game should be played, because if I'm playing against you and we match up in rivals, for example, you do not give a fuck if I'm trying to play with 11 silver players and score a no-scope volley in it. You just want to play rivals.
Yeah.
Whereas if we're both playing with silver players, the things there in it, I'm like, it's more of a level playing field, because you're trying to do what I'm trying to do. And it's not like when I'm playing for the rivals objectives, I'm trying to force the ball to, like when I was doing the English one, I've got Gary Lineker, I'm forcing the ball to Gary Lineker, and I'm trying to score the finesse shot. And it's like, I'm not enjoying playing the game, so I'm trying to score a fucking stupid finesse goal. Whereas if it's just, you're also playing with Gary Lineker, and you're trying to score with Gary Lineker, the scores aren't going to be like 4 or 5-0, because you're also trying to feed the ball to Gary Lineker. You're not trying to win, you're trying to do what I'm doing.
Yeah, I think that's where they've lacked in objectives. previously this year, not only, I think the Werner one at the moment is kind of the same. That's now, you got to score a finesse goal with German player, and I'm trying to do it myself. I'll be honest with you. I'm trying to pass the ball to a German Premier League player to score, and you're like, I'm not actually playing the game for fun. I'm not trying.
And it shouldn't be like that, man. I think the game, the toxicity, because I'll admit I've done it. When I'm on PC, you can just Alt F4 and close the tab. So if that guy's about to score and he's doing something to me or whatever, and he's gonna get the win, I'll just fucking out on F4, man. If he's about to score, I'll just do it. He won't get the win. And I ain't proud to do that, but people do it to me.
Yeah.
And it's like it's not. I'm not that kind of guy outside of FIFA. Like I'm not that kind of guy. I'm all about helping people. But if the game makes me want to make that person suffer because I'm trying to do something, you're not going to get the win in it. Like I'd rather just out an F4 so you can't do it. Whereas if you were both in that game mode setting, right, like and it was a random matchup, if your opponent quits, even if it's 0-0, you should get the win in that setting because they quit. You're not wasting your time. I had it before. It's like 60 minutes, and like you've got you're about to get a penalty or whatever, and they just unplug the console.
Oh bloody hell! Yeah, I've had that many times. You're like, what? I'm just about to complete the objective. It's taken me 4 days to do.
That's it, man. And that's the big issue with FIFA and how they see the game in it. They want you to be playing it more and more and more because you'll fucking do it in it. Like you won't not do it. You'll sit there and you'll do it and do it and do it until you do it. You don't give up.
Yeah.
And it's good for them. That's why they had all these stupid squad these ones where it's for the tokens, it's like play a friendlies match. Like the bosses at EA don't care about the game. They don't really care how it works. They just want to say, you put this new friendlies mode in that you spent £5 million designing, and how much gameplay did it get? And they can show a number and say people played it for a total of X amount of minutes, but people didn't play it. We just did it because we had to, and that's what.
Do you miss things in FIFA like tournaments, daily tournaments, stuff like that?
Yes and no.
Yeah.
Yes, because it's fun and it gave me something to do, and obviously you're playing with like a level playing field against someone else. But no, because the amount of times you get to the final and then you get nothing. You get like a bad game. You get hit by handicap. You get hit by DDA. You get hit by lag, whatever you want to call it. The thing that exists in the game that your players feel like they are underwater. When you get hit with that, it's not nice, in it. You've had to do. You've got no progress.
Listen, let's not lie. That is in the game. We've all experienced it. Everybody's experienced it. As soon as you go into a game, you're like, what the hell are my players doing? Like, what are they doing?
I don't know if it's down to like a code thing. I don't know if it's like something where they put. But I always thought about it like this, in it. Like, let's say you were the best FIFA player. You're the best FIFA player in the world, or you're far superior to the people you're playing against in that division, or weekend league, or whatever, and you win every single game you play. You're not going to spend money on FIFA points. You don't need to upgrade your team, and it becomes very quickly. It becomes like pretty much to the level of tedium. And then if you're also a bad player and you lose every single game you play, you constantly get beat. You put X amount of money into FIFA points, and you're still not winning. You're just going to give up in it.
Yeah, true.
And you're not going to play on. So I think they have to put it in a way where, like someone has a bit of an advantage because they can't really fairly match up. Because someone in the world would theoretically have to be the worst player, right?
Yeah.
And for you to, sort of one of the guys in my Discord, Flash, he's a moderator, lovely guy, but I think he's Division 8 or 9. And he knows he's not very good at the game, in it. Like, he knows that he's not like a very good level of skill. But he enjoys it. Gets silver in weekend league, whatever, and that's good for him. But I think he also knows, in it, being that level, he's smart enough and old enough to know that he's not that level of skill. When he wins a game, he shouldn't do. He knows, right? Same as when I lose a game to someone like Flash, where I've lost, and I've messaged him and said, when do you normally finish? And I like silver 2, and I've lost 2-0. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that's not right, is it? Because I'm a gold 1 to elite player, and I felt the whole game sometimes you're feeling it where your players feel rapid.
Yeah.
And other times you just can't. You get caught with like goldfish checking it. I don't get that. I never understood that bit of the game.
Well, I think Tex said it during I think it was in a competitive match. He was in the interview and he said, "It's not fun. Anyone can beat anyone. in FIFA 20.
Yeah, I
You know?
saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think he's right in that sense. You know, like you say, there is something within the game, whether you want to call it scripting, whether you want to call it DDL, whatever you want to call it. There is something within the game that says this person's going to get a smaller advantage than their opponent.
Specifically this year, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I never felt it as much the last couple of years, but like I remember losing one game, and I was losing. He was a bad player, and it wasn't one of those ones where I think like, you know, like I was a sore loser. Like he was a bad player. Like I had like a far amount of shot, and I know, yeah, like if you put it on Twitter, you put it on Facebook, people always comment, learn to shoot better, play shoot shots. But bro, like I was like there, and his keeper was either making like a ridiculous save, like a save that like is not like either an animation that I've rarely seen or never seen. My player like is shooting a completely different way to what I'm aiming. I'm either hitting the post or like it's getting blocked, or like, you know, like the player just doesn't feel correct. Yeah. And then when he's counter attacking, every single pass goes like, and you know, like the thing where your AI will lunge and miss.
Yes, classic.
And that happens, or like they let it, like he lets it go through his legs, and that's stuff I'm not in control of.
Yeah.
So like, that's probably the only game I've experienced this year where I would say like definitely there was some sort of other like forces at work that were not tied down to either player's ability. And then there's been one or two games where I've won them. Oh, I shouldn't have won that because my keeper's made 11 saves. But the whole time I've not felt like he's been better than me. The whole time I've felt like he's getting the ball repeatedly in it.
Off of nothing.
Off of nothing, and he's shooting. His stats look really good, and the guy's a good player, and I'm lucky to get the win. But I'm also unfortunate to be in a position where the game was fully him, every block, every tackle, every pass. And it's the AI, when the AI starts intercepting it and interfering, or tackling you without them controlling it. And that's when you start to see like a few sort of things in it. And they're not playing any form of pressure or nothing like that, because none of the other players are doing it. But like the AI will make look at, you know, that interception thing I was on about. They make the interception, whereas yours misses it.
Yeah. Listen, I think we've all fallen victim to that this year. Let's hope that FIFA 21 will be a little bit better. Are you hyped for FIFA 21?
Well, tell us all the ratings, yeah.
But I mean, as a gamer, are you excited for it? Because I'm kind of listen. I love FIFA. I think you do as well. I'm always excited for when it comes out, and then, you know, as it you know goes along through the months, I kind of, you know, lose the love for it a little bit more. But I am actually hyped for FIFA 21. I'll just hope and pray that they get it right this time. You know, I think we've been deprived of a decent football game for a long time. Do you not think that the community's been deprived?
I liked 19.
You like 9, yeah?
It was shit. Like, it wasn't a fucking good game, but it was enjoyable. I don't mind getting fucking tornado across, because I'm going to tornado across it. I don't mind getting lack because you're going to get lack in it. It's a case of who masters those abilities better in it.
Yeah.
And 18, I sort of fell out of love with a little bit. 17 I really liked 17. But I think 20, like, just how the game is played, where, like, every game I play, I have, like, 35% possession, because I don't pass the ball around fucking constantly and not attack. And that's not the person I'm playing against fault. That's just how the meta, isn't it? Because the AI is coded to sit back. But I'm excited from the way that I get to start again. It's new. There's all these promising things, but I'm disappointed because the beta is slow, and it's the same possession, like control, like it doesn't look free scoring.
Have you tried the beta?
Yeah. It felt slow. Every player feels like I'm controlling like Jekyll or something like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I wasn't fortunate enough to get the beta, to be fair. So.
Yeah. Well, it's just not like it doesn't. Obviously, the beta last year was amazing.
Yeah, it was. I got the beta last year, and I was like, oh my god, I can't wait for this game.
And then within like I think the first couple of games I played, like 7-3, 7-4, and then I don't know when it happened. I don't remember it happening, but it became shit.
I think it was the update. It was the first update that they released. It changed the game completely. The passing was off. The shooting was off. I think they toned down the shooting, you know, and kind of killed the game.
For me, it's like the fact that I can't score outside the box. can't score whatever at long range. It's just the whole. I don't know why, but the whole fucking everyone just sits in the penalty area and you can't stop them from doing it. Like my players do it in it. I don't know like why it's coded in that way. But 2021 felt more a bit like FIFA 17, but with like the possession-based slowness of 20. My players seemed to make more runs, but I just couldn't turn, nimble, whatever. It felt like tall players and physical players were going to be very good.
Yeah. Well, let's just hope that that they take our feedback and change a few things and adjust a few things. I think we're going to wrap it up there. Again, I just want to thank you very much for taking the time to come and chat to us and have a little chat about FIFA. And yeah, hopefully, like I say, FIFA 21 will be better than FIFA 20. Guys, please go and check out DenisFUT, should I say, on Twitter. It's at DenisFUT_trade. Make sure to check him out. He is very good with his leaks and his Twitter. I am a avid follower and a fan. So yeah, thank you very much, Dennis, for taking the time to come and chat to us. I do appreciate that. Yeah, good luck with FIFA 21.
You too, mate. Thanks for having me on to talk a lot of shit. I appreciate it.
Cheers.
All right.
Take care.
Bro. All right, take care, mate.
Bye.
All right, bye.